What do one percenters do when they're riding to a party that is 15 hours away over a frozen mountain pass and parts come flying off their bikes? Well, stick around because I'm going to tell you what the Oregon chapters of the Mongols MC did coming up on this episode of My Life with Outlaw Bikers Till the Wheels Fall Off here on the Outlaw Feminist.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up.
Greetings, my fellow YouTubers and Americans, and welcome back to the Outlaw Feminist. My name is Blue, and this is where I tell all my business. Unlike many YouTubers, I tell my own stories, and my nonsense is always free on this channel. And with that said, let's rip into this episode till the wheels fall off, shall we? One of the very first club things that I participated in was helping 3 Block, Pussy in a Patch, organize the Carson City chapter's 4th anniversary party because the Carson City chapter P did not have the gas tank to organize this party. Except there was nobody really to invite. Most of the patch holders down there didn't have friends outside the Mongols, and they were never out riding around town. They weren't really anything but a bunch of loosely stitched together old men. Remember Black Rain and Black Domino chewed the Mongols up pretty good for a couple of years, and in Carson City and Reno, they were still crawling out of it at that time. Now it is common for MC parties to consist mostly of club members, but those parties are also meant to be fundraisers for the chapter. Since the Carson City and the Reno chapters didn't have a clubhouse, they allowed Mongol patchholder and Fat Daddy's owner, Buddha, to collect the revenue for these parties. Chapters without clubhouses are different from chapters with clubhouses. Clubhouses equal security, power, and status. And getting other chapters from the Mongol nation was difficult due to Reno's location. Nobody wants to go to Reno. It's either brutally cold, dangerously hot, and mashing through gale force winds on the northern Nevada highways will beat the tar out of you. Anything outside of Reno is just mean. Not only that, but 99% of the Mongols nation didn't know one member of the Carson City chapter. Remember when I asked my MySpace Mongol buddy about the big tough essay of the Carson City chapter, My New Love Interest, 3 Block? Bro had no idea who I was even talking about, and that dude was in the life down in Carson City. One thing that the Carson City chapter did have in their back pocket, they were in the possession of the Mongols calendar girl, Blue, SYLM. I had already established myself as a loyal supporter and friend of the club. I wasn't family, but I couldn't tell the difference at the time. Since the Mongols nation knew me, I was available to lend assistance and make the chapter look good. It wasn't super difficult for me, as I already had 450 black and white on my Facebook page from around the world. But this is definitely where I started noticing flaws in the system. Put a serious pin in this. We need to address a woman's place in the 1%er world and the serious consequences to the members and the club when women are used to push agendas in men's spaces. These women are known as bottom bitches. Let's do a live about this next Thursday because this directly ties to something that was said to me by a former Mongols national P. He said, I never wanted that guy around, talking about Billy Queen, the undercover ATF agent involved in Black Rain. That tweaked out dumb bitch brought him around. Now those aren't verbatim his words, but pretty much a drug addict woman brought a cop into one of the chapters in California who eventually penetrated the club. Please like and subscribe. Guess who did RSVP though? My Mongol friends from Oregon. Hell yeah. This made me feel especially prideful. This was good for 3 Block's reputation in the city, with the Northern Nevada chapters, and the Mongol nation itself. This was important because a storm was brewing in Northern Nevada, and I wanted my old man to be at the top and not the bottom of the heap. I was the bridge between him and the patch holders with more power. Them Oregon motherfuckers ride. Remember their black and road grime colored patches? I may be wrong, but I think Salem has their 100%er patch and has had it for over 10 years. A 100%er patch is given to a Mongol chapter that rides to a national party over 100 miles, 100% on bikes, no trailering. The last time I knew, very few non-Cali chapters have their 100%er patches. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I'll check my facts though regardless. That is one thing that the twins pushed hard though, the brotherhood and the riding. Believe it or not, a lot of one percenters drive to meetings and events and they kind of avoid riding their bikes. Back to the story. Partygoers began showing up and I kind of ran the jukebox. 3 Block took a photo of me standing at the jukebox in his gigantic black and white flea market fleece. Anybody that remembers 3 Block remembers his giant cut and black and white fleece. With the lighting behind me, I looked like Tinkerbell in that fleece. I was so tiny compared to him. Gary One Percenter, the Carson City Secretary Treasurer, showed up early and left almost immediately, pissed. 3 Block pissed him off again, demanding access to the chapter's Bible. Since Gary was the Carson City Mongols MC Chapter Secretary Treasurer and the keeper of the Bible, or the club rules and history, he didn't want 3 Block to have it, but he didn't understand that 3 Block, as an officer, was allowed to be in possession of the Mongol Bible. 3 Block went over to get Bomber, and Bomber had to explain this to Gary. The 2 Reno chapter members that showed up were Perka, or motherfucking Perka One Percenter, and his good friend Dana One Percenter. Perka was the minister at my wedding. You can check that out here. Dana was a big, tall, older man. He reminded me of Santa Claus, but more stoic. Sleepy eventually showed up about halfway through the party and left pretty quickly. Sleepy One Percenter was an enigmatic, bald, white guy with a Fu Manchu mustache, and he had all the flair. Fun fact, Sleepy One Percenter's old lady, Rosie, was the gangsteriest human being, including any One Percenter in northern Nevada that I had met. She was, wow. LA Mike One Percenter, and I think Reaper One Percenter, both retired. I believe that they both showed up to that party. LA Mike One Percenter, I believe he was a former Reno P, and he made it to a lot of functions. He was really nice, super quiet. Little T One Percenter was on NA. NA is an acronym for non-association, so he wasn't able to make it to the party. NA is mandated by the courts. Lil T got all jammed up in Black Domino. Lots of my friends were on NA at this time. I told you a bit about this in my last episode, and you can find that here. Members of the soon-to-be Raiders MC started cycling in as well. The Raiders MC is the Mongols MC support club, and the only official one there is. The Raiders kicked off in Oklahoma years ago. They were administered by my papa, Jeff One Percenter, or Oklahoma Jeff One Percenter. Rest in peace, Papa. Then some political stuff happened and my MySpace Mongol buddy took over the Raiders MC. The Raiders MC is a 2-patch MC with no 1% diamond. They are not outlaw bikers. They are outlaw biker adjacent. The Raiders are kind of the Mongols minor league team. Kinda. But unlike other MCs, the Mongols MC treat their support club with respect. The Raiders side rocker also reflects the county and not the chapter. Then there's Sparky One Percenter. He showed up. Sparky One Percenter was one of my favorite people of all time. Sparky One Percenter's cut had a Nomad side rocker, but at one time, Sparky was the P of the Frisco chapter when Frisco was fucking Frisco. Sparky One Percenter will come up often from here on out because he was tethered to Kid One Percenter and Junior One Percenter. Nomads are semi-retired brothers that are no longer required to attend functions, pay dues, or meetings. Mother chapter or a designated nomad chapter administers the nomads. An interesting character, Fox of the Reno Vagos, showed up with a former, I guess, porn star. Way former. Fox was a sinister-looking older Native American. However, I did not believe that he was with the local Paiutes. He had blue eyes, but they had a fog over them like cataracts. It was crazy looking. In true Native American fashion, Fox brought 3 Block a Fuck the Hells Angels t-shirt as a gift. He said to 3 Block, "I've had this shirt for a long time now, but I do not wear it because it does not belong to me. I got it out of my closet tonight to bring it to you because the spirits told me that this belonged to you." Those were not his exact words, but you kind of get the gist. Members of a couple of other clubs rolled through that night, loosely stitched together clubs. The Wolfpack One Percenter Club, and some reservation club with a couple of cops in it. These 2 clubs will come up again when 3 Block, Perka, and Sparky busted them down. Here's a fun fact for you. 3 Block One Percenter, my ex-old man, was a patch hunter. At first, he actively worked on other clubs, then he turned in on his own and he started going after his own brother's patches. Not one, not two, not 10, dozens. The party had been going for quite a while, but still no Oregon. We were all starting to get worried. They were hours late and we hadn't heard from them since they took off from Salem earlier that morning. Finally, Oregon pulled up, freezing. They just had come out of the mountain pass, which was still in pretty bad shape. I did it in a huge truck with lots of weight, and I was in a full-on panic attack the whole time. I couldn't imagine doing it on a bike until I did it on the back of a bike 2 weeks later. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps my algorithm and helps get my face hole out in front of more people. Not all of Oregon showed up, but quite a few did. I do not remember who all was there, but I know 2 times 1%er, the Salem P was there, Magpie 1%er. I assume he was there because he rides all the time and he is everywhere. Shannon 1%er was there and Hardway 1%er was there. Hardway 1%er almost became asphalt icing coming through the pass. As the chapter mashed through the icy Siskiyous Pass, Hardway 1%er's tire flew off. The pack didn't have a cage or a trailer, no light, no cell phone service. But in true Mongol fashion, they all pitched in and they got that bike back on the road again. Stories like these are constant in the 1%er world. Exciting, dangerous, stressful, joyful, all the time. And somehow Hardway and his bike were none the worse for wear. The 2 prospects that rode down with Oregon were Beardo and Chubbs. Charlie from the Christmas Party story. Beardo, I believe, designed the t-shirt that I wore for the Mongol calendar. I'm almost positive. Per 1%er protocol, and this is pretty much across the board, the prospects were to stay outside with the bikes. Of course, I started getting nervous about the prospects outside, still in the cold. My whole body began to revolt, and I started getting real teary about my friends suffering. I can get stupid. I ordered 4 hot chocolates from the bar and began walking them outside, but stopped immediately and remembered that I was here on 3 Blocks Patch. I wasn't just some chick supporter. I was his old lady. I couldn't just do what I wanted anymore. I located my big, tall, motherfucking pirate of a man across the bar talking to 2 times. I stood about 15 feet away so 3 Block could see me and know that I wanted to have a word with him. He excused himself. I explained that I felt uncomfortable with the Oregon prospects, my friends, standing outside in this cold while we were all having fun and warm in here. 3 Block explained that he could not give permission for me to take the hot chocolates out. However, he understood and that he would go talk to 2 times. 3 Block's big dumb thumb popped up out of the crowd and he gave me the big guy nod and disappeared back into the party. Now I could take the prospects that hot chocolate. I grabbed the hot chocolates back up and presented them to the prospects freezing outside. They reared back like I was trying to hand them poison. 2 times quickly appeared over my shoulder and said, "Yeah, it's okay, you guys can have that." I forgot the second part of the approval. Prospects only follow orders at parties from patch holders. Only patch holders can take prospects off duty. After a while, 2 times let the prospects cycle into the party to warm up. Thank you. The party was super fun. We all went to breakfast with everybody the next morning just before they were off. Everybody gave Hardway shit the entire time about if he loses another wheel and they get trapped in the mountains, they were all just going to pull a Donner Party move on him and he'd be a sandwich. 3 Block got a lot of respect for bringing an out-of-state chapter to the party. My friends were very supportive and good to 3 Block. They were extremely generous with their time, support, and brotherhood, which also made me proud to be a part of their world. As far as the famdamly, I was able to get everybody squared away to a more sane situation, but the fundamental problems with my husband's way of getting forward seemed to be very self-centered and not necessarily kid and family friendly or focused. Coming up next on the Outlaw Feminist, Series 4, my pronoun is it. We are in episode 3, Cop Collars. Until the next time, be safe, be a good American, and baby, be dangerous.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it